Hello everyone, welcome to this webinar. And my name is Vishanu, and today we are discussing about that what is Nmap and how we can use it. So, before starting that, if I'm talking about myself, that I'm an ethical hacker and also a bug bounty hunter, and I'm finding lots of work in different websites and different platforms as well. So, in this scenario, in this webinar, we're discussing about that Nmap or network scanning. So network scanning is very important in our web application or as a also if we're talking about as a company or if we're talking about as a network. Okay. So network scanning. So if you want to start a network scanning, so first you have to know about the Nmap or all the different types of tools. Okay. So now if we're talking about the what's the Nmap, so full form of the Nmap is a network mapper. So by the using of Nmap, you can perform lots of different types of scanning within a network. Okay, so if I'm talking about a small introduction of an Nmap, that by using an Nmap, you can perform various types of port scanning, various types of different types of port scanning, various different types of vulnerability scanning as well. You can able to perform within a network. Okay. There are lots of different tools. There are lots of different types of tools also available in our Kali machine, or if you're talking about in our hacking machine, there are lots of different types of tools are also present, like Rust scan or as a HPing3. But Nmap is very portable, or we can say that Nmap is very easy to use. So that's why we are using Nmap in our scanning or in our starting of our network penetration testing. Okay. So if I'm talking about how we can use to Nmap, so for that, let me show my screen. Okay, so here you can see this is my Kali machine. Okay, and Nmap is a tool which is already available in our Kali machine. Okay, so you don't need to install on your Kali machine because it's already pre-installed. Okay, so first just you need to turn on. First you just need to open your terminal over here and just simply type Nmap, and here you can see there are lots of different types of options, lots of different types of arguments and options are available, and how you can use the Nmap. There are lots of different types of helps are okay. So we will try to cover all the things one by one. So in this scenario, you can see this is a Windows machine, and this one will be our victim. Okay. So now if I try to perform things, if I just try to find out what is the IP of this Windows machine, so for that I just simply type IP config, and here you can see this is my IP of this Windows machine. Okay. So now, before starting the Nmap, as an ethical hacker, I need to find out that how many systems are available within a network. Okay, so for that I need to run ARP scan, and here you can see this is my Windows machine IP. So if we're talking about like how I can able to perform the scan, so basically this is called our ERP scan. Now whenever you present in a network or you available in a network and you didn't know that how many systems are available over here, how many systems or how many computers, how many mobile phones are available within that network, so at that time you need to perform an ARP scan. So in the ARP scan, basically we try to find out or we can able to try to fetch the ARP table, and within ARP table there are lots of different types of IP and their MAC address are available, and this ARP table is present in a router. So we just try to find out that ARP table, and we are obtain all the details from that ARP table. So that's why ARP scan is very fast. And from this table we got the IP of that Windows 7 machine IP, which will be our victim machine. Okay, so here you can see this is 1.22, and same over here also that 1.22. Now, now we try to perform the Nmap scan from calibration. Okay, so for that, simply you need to type Nmap, and after that, just you need to put the IP of that. You need to just put the IP of your victim machine. Okay, and then simply hit enter. And with this Nmap tool, you can able to find out lots of different types of juicy information which is not directly available in our internet. Okay, so that's why your Nmap scan is very important. Okay, it takes a small time. Okay, so here you can see it's not able to show ports. Okay, so for that reason we need to perform a PM. So basically this is a option of Nmap. So now what is this? So basically this is for PN. PN means a no ping scan. Why we need to use this no ping scan? So basically whenever you try to fetch or whenever you try to perform anything within a network or anything in a web or everywhere, so at that time, uh, if you're using any type of tools or if you're using any type of software, first they try to interact with the server by pinging. Okay, means in my scenario, whenever my Nmap try to connect with or try to communicate with that IP, first you try to ping with that server, and after that, try to ping with that machine. Try to ping with that Windows 7 machine, and after that, if the Windows 7 machine IP, Windows 7 try to reply back to you, and after that, only Nmap will return the IP. Otherwise, you're not able to reply back anything. So here you can see. After that, if I using PN, then also it's not able to show you all the other details. Okay, no issue. So for that, what the things I can do? Okay, so here you can see all host ports are also same as well as other results. So for that reason, I need to a little bit configure my Windows machine firewalls because the initial stage of firewall try to block my all the scam. Okay, so now if I just turn off the firewall, you will understand. Now, if I just simply turn on the firewall and now if I run the Nmap, you will notice all the ports are available over here, right? So that's why Nmap scan is very important or network scanning is very important because the ports are normally not available or we can't able to find out the ports easily. So that's why we need to find out. That's why we need to use Nmap or different types of network scanning tool by using which we can able to find out the open ports. Okay. Now, in the initial stage, if you try to run the Nmap and if you try to find out the any open ports, so at that time, Nmap will show you that how many ports are open and in which ports whichever service are running over here. Okay. So now let's try to run different types of option. So first, most popular is the SP. Sorry, SP will be just a little bit case sensitive. Okay, so you have to remember that within Nmap, whenever you try to run any type of option or any type of arguments whatever, so you need to keep remember that every type of options has their different type of case sensitive like option like as a small s and capital B, or sometimes it's look like a capital P or small n. Okay, and you need to remember that things. Okay, so if you change as like a capital A small p, okay, so at that time it doesn't gonna work. Oh, a little bit hit enter. So whenever you click enter, so at that time, how many scans are completed and how many remain, it will reflect it here. Okay, so it's almost done. 91.67%. Let's see. Okay, so you can see our scan is completed. Okay, and at this time you will notice that we got three things like sorry, we got four things that like port, state, and service already. It will be it was remain same as like previous scan. Okay, like port, state, service, and one a new line is added, which is version. Okay, so SV means that service version or version detection scan. Okay, so in this scan we will try to find out we will try to find out that how many service so which type of versions of that sports which type of version of those ports which is available in that machine. Okay. So you can see port 80, which version is bad blue HTTP 2.7. After that 135 TCP ports MSRPC, which version is Windows MSRPC. Okay. After that you can see 1243. Okay. So this is Windows HTTP API HTTP 2.7. So in such a way, you can able to find out how many ports are running and what is the version of that port. You have to be remember one thing that not all the ports are Nmap is not able to find out all types of version of every port. Okay, but it try to give you the best. Okay. Now, if you normally run the Nmap, so at that time you will notice that only 1,000 ports Nmap will show you. Okay, only 1,000 ports Nmap will try to show you, and here you see it's reflect it show you only 49,157, right? But as we know that in our system there are 65,535 ports, right? But Nmap showing you only 49,157 number port. So if you try to perform all the ports like from 0 to 65,535 ports, so at that time you need to run dash small p dash. Okay. So after that, whenever it enter, it will try to scan all the 65,535 ports. Okay, and it took a little bit long time. So you can see it takes it just 1.05% completed and it takes a little bit long time. Okay. So for that reason, we'll keep it background, okay, and we'll try to run and the scan. So now, if you try to run any specific, or if you try to find out that any specific port does it open or not, or what is the status or what is the condition of that particular port. So at that time, so at that reason, you need to mention dash p. After that, port 80 or whatever you try to find out, it will reflect to you. Okay. So in my cases, you can see it's already open. Okay. Now, if I try to put 81, let's see, you can see port 81 is closed. So in such a way, you can able to find out particular ports. Okay. Now, if you try to if you try to find out that how many ports are available within a range, so at that time you need to do. Okay. So here you can see I just put a range, small range like port 80 to 100, or let's suppose that let's suppose that put 300. Okay. So now it will reflect me that how many ports are available within this 300, so from 80 to 300. Okay, how many ports are available within this range? Now let's hit enter and let's see. Okay, so here you can see port 80, 135, and 139 ports are available within this range. So if you put like a 700, let's see. Okay. So here you can see from port 80 to 554 ports are available within this range, right? So in this way, you can able to find out how many ports are available within this range. Okay. So next, there are another option is called top ports. Okay. So if I mention top ports 20, so at this time, Nmap will reflect to you the top 20 ports which is available within this network. It will try to show you. Now we have to remember that if you mention top 20 ports, so within the top 20 ports, there are lots of ports which is by default is enabled. Some ports are will be even closed, so it will show you all the ports of that machine. So you can see port 21 which is FTP is closed, 22 is also closed. Okay, port 80 is open, so it's reflect me as open. So if we're talking about state, there are three types of state. Okay, so you have to remember this one. If you're talking about nmap state, there are three different types of state. One is closed, second one is open, and third one is your filtered. Okay. So as we know that closed means that that port is already closed, so there are no services running behind this port. Okay. Second port is like open. That means yeah, as like port 80 is already open and the service HTTP is running behind this port. Okay. And third one is open filtered. That means that port is open, but there are some like a filtration technique as like firewall are behind this port. So if you got any type of port like this open filters, at that time you need to understand that okay, there are particular firewall or there are some security measurement which is related, directly connected within this port. Okay. Okay. Now let's discuss about that SS. So what's the SS? SS means still scan. Okay. There are lots of different name of this scan. Yes, some people call it still scan, some people call it like up TCP scan. Okay, so there are lots of different types of name of this scan. Okay. So why we need to run this still scan? Because the result is almost similar with this scan, and as well as if I try to run the normal scan, then also it will reflect you the same. Then why you need to run this scan? Okay. So to understand these things, we need to first understand that what's the TCP three-way handshake. Okay. So let's suppose that this is you and this is your server. Okay. Now, whenever you try to send any type of request for the first time to the server, first you need to send to a server that sync packet. Okay. First, you to send any type of, if you try to communicate or if you try to make a connection communication between you and your server, so first you need to establish the connection, and for the establish the connection you need to first send sync connection. Okay, and after that server will reflect to you that sync plus SEK, means that synchronization plus acknowledgement. Okay, and after that, whenever you receive the synchronization plus acknowledgement, and then after that, you also have to be sent acknowledgement. Okay, and within this way, your TCP three-way handshake will be established, and after that, only your connection will be established. Okay, so now if I come back to your Nmap scan dash S dash, okay. So what is the mean? That means a TCP hub scan or still scan. Within a still scan or within this TCP hub scan, what we have done, we didn't send any type of acknowledgement over here. We directly sent nothing, or we didn't send anything, or we sent directly RST. What means that reset packet. That means we didn't establish any type of proper communication with the server, but still we capture their data. So in this way also you can able to like a trick with the server. Okay. So this is for SS. So next scan is our ST. ST means TCP scan. TCP scans means that in this at this time we try to perform the full TCP three-way handshake, and after that only we try to fetch the data over here. Okay, so that's why ST is the one of the most fastest scan in a Nmap scanning. Okay, the ST, your dash ST is the one of the most fastest scan in our Nmap scan. Okay, after that, if you are talking about SU means that UDP scan. So as we all know that there are two types of packet. There are two types of communication. One is your TCP and one is your UDP. Okay. So SU means that we try to communication, or we try to make a connection through the Nmap or to the server via using UDP packet. At this time, we didn't send any type of TCP packet by default. We will try to communicate via UDP. So if you try to run the SU against this IP, the scan will be slow. Okay, so if I come back to our earlier scan dash, which is called your dash PTS, and you can see it's around just completed 40.95%. So it takes a lots of time. So just keep it in the background, and you can see that is called your. So this is your dash S capital U. Okay, SU means your UTP scans. At this time, Nmap didn't able to perform default or TCP communication. At this time, Nmap tried to send all types of within all ports. Nmap tried to send UDP packets, and if any port reply back to UDP packets, then only Nmap give it record, and otherwise Nmap didn't capture their record. Okay, so that's why SU scan is the one of the most slowest scan within Nmap. Okay. Here you can see it also take around just it just completed around 5.95%, and it's take lots of time, so that's why just make it cancel. But if you want, then you can use this ASIC then. Okay. Okay, so if you're talking about next scan, so if you're talking about next scanning, so at this time we want to we try to run the ASIC, but we mention the port range. Okay, and yes, you can do that. You can mention the port range so that scan won't be take long. Okay, so here you see 61.90% is done, and let's see. Okay. See, at this time, Nmap only try to send UDP packets. Those who are getting reply, Okay, there are no ports available within this port 80 to 100, so that's why there are no ports. Those were getting replied back. Okay, so that's why every ports are like showing that it's closed. Okay, no worries. So we try to do one thing. Okay, so now after that we try to perform again, but at this time we try to use different range. And yes, here you can see this type of ports are closed. Okay, and it is 137 ports is open, and after that 130 ports open but as filtered. That means some kind of firewall are present behind this port, and other ports are remaining closed. So in this way you can able to find out different way. Okay, next we're discussing about aggressive scan. This is also very important scan within our Nmap, because aggressive scan is content three different types of scan. Okay, aggressive scan content three different types of scan. What is that? First is your service scan. Okay. Then your resource scan. Then your default script scan. Okay. We will discuss it a little bit later that what the script scan, but just try to understand that aggressive scan is content three different types of scans. So that's why if you try to run some type of like some type of intense scan, so at that time you need to run dash capital F, and that is enough for any type of scan. Okay, and it will reflect you lots of different types of information. And, okay, it's took around 60%. Let's see. Okay, it's completed 41.69%. Okay, 50% done. Okay, it's almost 91.67. Let's see. Okay, so first scan is completed, and after that now it's running the NEC. Okay, so NEC means that Nmap scripting engine. Okay, so basically within our Nmap there are lots of different types of scripts are available. So what is scripts? So scripts is be like your Nmap additional plugins type of things. Not a plugins actually, but just think about that Nmap's additional files for the Nmap. Okay, and these are by using the scripts you can able to run lots of different types of special can, or like whenever you not able to getting any type of interesting thing via normal scan. So at that time you can go with the script scan, but you have to remember one thing, that script scanning is a little bit dangerous, because uh, if you not able to if you didn't utilize your script scan properly, so at that time might possible one thing happen, maybe that your scan is not will be running, and second thing is will happen that you you can be sorry you maybe harm your against system. Okay. Okay, so our scan is completed, and you can see lots of different data are available, and almost a few things are already similar. Okay, because that is your service scan, as already we know that what is the service scan and how you can able to perform that. Okay, so the data will be same, and after that you can see this is the default script scan. And now within script scan we will get we get lots of different types of information, like interesting data like net bias and username, or like a net bias name. Okay. That SMB related information, operating system related information. Okay, and after that threshold information. So this is the contents of like accuracy scan. So that's why accuracy scan is very interesting and very important for any type of scan. Whenever you try to perform any scan or within a network or against any type of IP, so at that time, if you run accuracy scan, then at that time it will be very helpful for you. Okay. Next is a capital F. So capital F means a fast scan. So if you use F, so at the time it will perform the scan a little bit faster. Okay. Next command is our like T4. Okay. So what is the T4? T4 is basically thread 4. Thread 4 means that if you use multiples of option, so at that time if you use T4 or thread 4, so at that time your CPU will be a little bit going to be used at this time, and Nmap will try to utilize your uh, CPU, and it try to perform the scan a little bit faster. Okay, so capital F or T4, capital F and T4 is a little bit similar but not same, because in the capital F, if you use capital F, so at that time this option is try to perform like this option is try to uh, complete the scan as much as possible. Okay, and if you use T4, so at that time the Nmap will utilize your processor or your system resources and then try to complete the scan as much as possible fast. Okay, so that's why it's not try to T4 and just capital F is not so much similar, but I can say that it's almost similar but not same. Okay, so next we're talking about dash O. So what is the dash O? Dash O dash capital O means that operating system detection. So if you try to find out that which type of operating system or which type of which type of operating systems are running within that system, that is so for that time you need to run dash O. But dash O is not so much effective, because you can see Microsoft Windows 7 or Windows 8 or 8.1, and after that again you try to find out that which operating system is that, like Windows 7, or sometimes it's Service Pack 1, or sometimes it's Windows 7 2000. Okay, so Windows Server 2008. Okay, so at that time, basically the operating system is trying to detect that Windows version or operating system with which of operating system is that, but it not able to find out the exact version. So if you need to find out exact version, so for that reason you need to use SC. Now what is the SC? SC means that script scan, or you can say default script scan. Okay. And this one will this script scan will be the same. Okay, as like the aggressive scan, but aggressive scan is contain like three different types of scan, so that's why it takes a small time. And script scan is almost done, 92.79%. Let's see. It also detects the same data which what we've got already in the aggressive scan. Okay, 95.29%. Let's see. Okay, so it takes a small time. Oh yeah, it's completed. Okay, so here you can see the port state and service is same, and after that scripts are running, script scan is running, post script discovery, and you can see SMB OS discovery. And first, as the first, we got the OS version and exact the same Windows 7 Professional 7601 Service Pack 1 exact version of the Windows machine. Okay, so in this way, we can able to find out lots of different types of data by using the Nmap. Even you can say that SMB security mode and what is SMB security mode and SMB time. Lots of different data we can able to find out from this Nmap. Okay. Now, if you're talking about the script scan, so just need to visit. If you want to run the, if you want to find out that which is what is the script scan so for that you need to visit CD. So you need to just visit this location, user share Nmap script, and if you run ls, you will notice lots of different types of scripts file or NC file. Okay, and these are different types of files, and you can see that the extension is .nec. NEC means the Nmap scripting engine. So basically, these are one kind of, you can say these are one kind of work as like an extension, but this is not an extension. We normally we didn't use the script. Only at that time we will try to use the scripts when we didn't get exact data or whatever you want or whichever data you want. Okay, and you didn't get that. So for that reason, we need to run the script scan, and script has a special power, or inside the script has a little bit more power. So that reason, if you run the scripts properly, you will get lots of interesting information. Okay. So now let's see that how you can use the script scan. So for that, then you just need to simply mention dash dash script, okay, and after that, just simply keep the space, and after that, you need to mention which scripts you want to run. For an example, I just want to like SMB related information because in the upper in the inbox scanning we see that there are lots of different types of SMB related information are present. So that's why we need to run a SMB related script. So what is the SMB? Okay, let's do one thing. Okay. See, there are lots of different types of scripts which is related to your SMB. So let's see that how we can use that. So using any type of scripts, for an example, I just try to use this script. So for that reason, you need to just mention the script tag, and after that, give a space and then script file name properly and remove the .nc. Okay, and then hit enter. Okay, see, our scan is completed, and you can see SMB2 time and what's the starting date and what is the date and as well as time mentioning over here. Okay, so in this way also we can able to find out or we can able to perform the script scan. Now there are lots of different scripts also available like Firewalk or Firewalk Python. So if we just remove the scripts and replace the scripts over here and then mention the Firewalk. So basically it's showing that basically this is a script which is help you to find out that is there any firewall present or not. Okay. And if you remove the firewalk and then if you want to run this script, this one also same, but this one help you to bypass the firewall and detect or find out the how many ports are available over here. Okay. See, the data is same. Okay, because there are initial stage in the initial stage we already close the firewall, so that's why there are no firewall. Okay. Now, if I show you like to run the scripts, you don't need to visit this location every time. Okay. You can able to run any type of scripts from any location. Okay. So, for example, if I try to run Firewalk or like if I try to run any type of different scripts like SMB2 time. Oh, and here you can see the result is same. So, in this way, you can able to run scripts and other important option. Now, if I show you, like there is a one script command, which name is vuln. Okay. Now, if you want to run this command, then simply just mention script and after that script. And now, what it does? So basically, boolean means that vulnerability scan. So if you want to if you want to scan any type of vulnerability related data, so at that time you need to mention this script and then simply hit enter, and it will a little bit take time. Okay, because in the behind the scene it will load lots of different types of vulnerability related scripts and try to run all of the scripts one by one. Okay. Okay, so 82%. Okay, so it takes a small time, so that's why leave it in the scenario. Okay, and yeah, finally our dashboard is completed, but still you can say 49,334. It's same. Okay, almost. Okay, no, sorry, it's not almost same. It's actually you can see 49,157 ports, and after that in the dash p dash it will try to find out like 49,340. So not so much data, but still if you want to find out any type of services or any type of ports which is running in the at the end of the ports like 80,000 like 60,000 50,000, so at that time you need to run this dash p dash, and this is very at that time this will be very helpful for you. Now If you want to like at this time, let's discussing about some firewall related scam. Okay, so there are lots of different way to bypass the fire. First, if I'm talking about SF, so SF means a spin flag scan. So within a Nmap or within a IP header, there are 3 to 4 different types of header, like 3 to different types of flag are present. Flag basically define that how many, how much. Flag basically define you that what which type of packets is that. Okay, means that whenever Nmap try to scan uh, any type of scan of that IP. So at that time, if I use dash SF, SF means that ping scan. Now, one kind of packet to those who are already in flag content, this only sent it by the Nmap to the IP, and here you can see result is not showing. Okay, so worry not. Okay, so don't worry. The fin flag, or there are lots of different types of there are few different types of scans are present, like Xmas scan. Okay, ping scan. Okay, so there are different types of scans are present, and by using the scan, we try to figure out that is there any type of firewall are present or not. Okay. If results are not showing over here, so at that time you need to understand, okay, there are no type of firewall. If the result will be showing something, that means that firewall are present. Then again, it's like dash A. Dash A means like acknowledgement scan, or you can say ACK scan. Okay. So now if I mention like SL, okay, still there are no result. That means there are no firewall present. Now how is it work? If any firewall present, okay, present, then the packet will reflect to you like any type of like reset. Okay, return to you like a reset or ACK. Okay, but if there are no firewall present, then at that time it will not return you anything. Okay, means if no present, then Nmap will return nothing. Okay, so these things we have to understand. Okay, so at this time, so that's why there are no results are reflected over here. Okay. And same as like uh, Christmas can, or basically X's means that Christmas can, Xmas can. Okay. And here you can see still there are no packets are sorry, there are no results are showing over here. Okay, so in such a way you can able to find out that is there any firewall are present or not. Okay. Now let's discuss about that dash small f. We have already discussed about that capital F, right? So that is different thing. And there's another thing is called small f. Small f means that fragmentation scan. Now, what is the fragmentation scan? Fragmentation scan means that normally whenever we send any type of packets, whenever packets or any type of data from our system to that this machine, so the packet will be delivered within 32 bits, right? But if I using dash f will be break my packet into two parts, that is 16 by 16, and then it will send it to them. Now why we need to do this? So sometimes the firewall will directly detect that what type of packets is that and who try to send the packet. Okay. So if I break the packet into two parts, at that time the firewall is not able to detect. So that's why you need to mention dash f. But you have to remember that if you're gonna use dash f, that means it will break a packet. It will break 32 bits of packet into two parts. Okay, 16 by 16. Okay. So if I send one packet directly, so at that time the packet will be delivered within 32 bits. Now, if I use dash up, that means that packet will be break into two parts. Then 16 first 16 will be delivered, and after that second 16 will be delivered. So in such way, the packet or fragmentation is worked. Now, if we're talking about dash MTU, M2 means that maximum transmission unit. So you need to mention the space or you need to mention the specific size. Okay. So dash F or dash MTU. Okay. M2 means the maximum transmission unit. Okay. So is almost similar. Okay. Almost similar, but there's a one small difference is that dash F means by default it will break into two parts, right? 16 by 16 or 8 by 8. Okay. But in a MTU, you can specify the like size. Okay. In a MTU, specify the size or a maximum size of that particular packet. Okay. So for an example, now if by default if any packet size is 32 bits, okay. So if I use dash MTU at that time, if I want to break 8, so at that time it will divide it into 4 pieces, right? Like a 8 comma 8 comma 8 comma 8, right? So it will break into the 4 pieces, right? Okay. So at this time also you can see result is being showing, but it's very helpful for at that time whenever you try to bypass into a firewall detection. At that time it's very helpful for you. But you have to remember one thing that you didn't put anything like as a four, like anything like three, like 3, 5, 7, any like not this type of. Okay, you have to put only the multiplier of 4 or like a multiplier of 8. You need to put. Like if you put 4, see multiplier of 8 you need to be putting over here. Okay. Okay, so let's come back to our previous thing. Okay, and at this time you can see we run the boolean scan. Okay, so you can see it's the port 80 is open and every type of ports which is available within that machine, it run all the ports and try to find out their vulnerability. And you can see it's vulnerable. Okay, watch your batch range filter DDoS or sorry DOS, and then state is vulnerable. Okay, an ID is mentioned. And CVEs, IDs, all the things are mentioned, and also it's mentioning a little bit like a description. Okay, and after that, disclosure date is also mentioning over here. Then reference also mentioning over here. Okay, and after that, like all the different types of like scripts which is try to be run. but it's reflected if reflected that error and script execution failed. That means that it's not available or the vulnerability is not present over there. Okay. Then after that, HTTP CSRF could not find any type of CSRF vulnerabilities. Okay, no issue. And after that, this strategy find out DOM-based process scripting or XSS. Could not find any type of DOM-based process scripting. Okay. And after that, it's try to find out any type of store related process scripting. That it also mentioning that could not find any type of process scripting related vulnerabilities. Okay. And after that, HTTP slow load is checked, showing that vulnerable. That means slow load is DOS attack is can be happen over. Okay, that means that that system that this Windows machine is vulnerable in DOS attack and its state is likely vulnerable. Okay, no issue. It's likely vulnerable and also CVE number is also mentioned over here and also a small description is mentioning over here and disclosure date. You can see disclosure date and also reference. Okay, and after that, that much code and again come back to script scan and post boolean ms10045 is also false. Okay, and after that we can see smb boolean ms10061 empty status object name not found. But if you look into this section smb boolean ms17010, it's vulnerable, right? And it's mentioned that remote code execution vulnerability in Microsoft smb server. That means by using this vulnerability, you can able to perform a remote code execution onto that SMB server or onto that Windows machine. And it mentioned that vulnerable and also it mentioned that risk factor is high. That means a critical remote code execution vulnerability exists in Microsoft SMB server 1. That means that this is the high vulnerability and within this vulnerability you can able to execute a remote code onto the Windows machine. And you can see disclosed date is also 2017. So this is not so much old. It's just around 2017 vulnerability. So you can easily exploit any Windows 7 machine. Okay, by using this vulnerability. Now, if you try to find out something like if you try to find out something like a vulnerability related thing, so at that time you can use this SMB script scan by Boolean. Okay, but remember, always try to remember that do not use script scan by without knowing anything about the script scan because every type of script scan require different types of options or different types of arguments. Okay, so if you didn't know that what the script is working or what the script does, then do not use the script because if you don't implement it properly, then might as well that the script is not going to run, and if it's going to be run, then it might be give an effect to that victim machine. Okay, so that's why do not use script scan without knowing about the scripts. Okay, so yeah, so let's copy and yeah, let's make it clear. Now, at the beginning of the scan, we noticed that we saw that how we can able to find out that how many systems or how many network, how many IPs are available or how many systems are available within a network, right? So same scan also you can able to perform by using our Nmap as well. So if you try to scan any network by using an Nmap without scanning the ports, so for that first you need to find out your IP and then just simply put the IP then /24 and the /sn. That means no port scan. And you can see this one also reflect the same data, but do not run this directly. You need to run at the end. So that much for today. Okay. So this is your Nmap and in such a way you can able to find out that so in such a way you can able to know that how we can use the Nmap scan and how to use it, right? Okay, so then bye bye.